Hey, what's cracking, everybody? On today's video, we're going to take a look at Netrunner. And I believe Netrunner is a Debian-based system. And it says right here that, well, it says it right here. It is a KDE Plasma on Debian stable. And I think they just released version number 25, Shockworm. So this is the one we're going to take a look at. So I got it up in the virtual machine, ready to go ahead and get installed so we can take a look at Netrunner. I'm not really sure what type of system it is. From the website, just by looking at it, it looked like it's a security type based system. But then again, I could be completely wrong. It is, Netrunner is a complete Linux operating system for PCs, laptops, netbooks, and ARM microcomputers. That features the KDE Plasma desktop on Debian stable. So I'm not really seeing too much over secure the way, everyone likes to market their systems. All right, so it's probably just a regular, Debian-based system. So we'll go ahead and get it installed and take a look at Netrunner. So this is Netrunner 25 Shockworm. Oh, did I say Shockwave at first? It's Shockworm. All right, these names between Ubuntu, Mint, and these guys, they got some pretty cool release names. Anyways, let's head on over to the virtual machine and take a look at Netrunner 25 Shockworm. And we're here now on the virtual machine, and we got the ISO booted up. So there is a icon on your desktop. It says install Netrunner. That's what I'm going to go ahead and double click on. And we are opened up with the Calamares installer. And automatically American English is selected. So I'll click on next. And my location is Los Angeles. I'll click on next. Default keyboard layout, English US. I'll click on next. And now I need to enter my user info. And I'll give it a strong and complicated password that's not 1-2. And for this case, I'll log in automatically. Not recommended for new users. Don't do that if you're a new user. All right, get an overview. Well, not an overview yet. It's set to erase disk and swap on Hibernate. Usually I use swap the file. So we'll just leave it like that. And this is the overview right here. It tells you everything that's going to happen. Click on install and install now. All right, so we'll go ahead and let this install. And then when we come back, we'll reboot into a Netrunner. We are back now, and the installer only took like 4 or 5 minutes. It was pretty quick. So let me go ahead and fix the screen resolution before we proceed with this first look. All right, my display settings are now fixed. So now let's do a proper first look at Netrunner, codename Shockworm, and this is Netrunner 25. So it is using the Plasma desktop. It is pretty straightforward. Got the panel on the bottom. You got your system tray on the right. You got a couple pinned applications right in the dead center of the panel. And then you got your applications menu all the way on the far left. And you do have 3 icons on your desktop. You have My Computer, Network, and README. So let's go ahead and open up the README file, see how this comes up. And it is from a web browser. So there's just a link to a README online. It says, thank you for choosing Netrunner desktop. This README provides a quick overview of how to get certain parts of the system to work properly. So are there certain parts that don't work properly? In live mode, the username password is live. Okay, we're not on the live mode. All right, it's talking about themes and tutorials, things like that. We're just doing the first look. I think most of the people just need to know this for the live USB. The username and password both are live. So if you run across any problems, that's what you'll need to know. Anyways, I'll have the links down in the video description. That way you can take a look at them yourself. I don't need to go through all that. I just want to do a first look at it and see what's going on. All right, earlier when I clicked on the menu, it opened up a full screen menu. So let me see what happens when I click on widgets. Okay, then you got apps and docs. Okay, so for apps and docs, these are the only applications I see. I see system settings, Dolphin, and Discover. And then we have like another list over here, recent files, all applications, games, graphics, internet, multimedia, office, settings, system, utilities, web, and your power menu. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. It is a pretty unique menu type of application system. I guess it's something similar to like like if you want to see a full page menu system, kind of like a dash doc or something like that, something that the GNOME system would use, something that could be recreated with a Rofi and other items, other programs. But all right, it's not, it is what it is. All right, so the other icon we have right here is network. There's no need to click on that. And then my computer, which is going to open up basically your file. Well, it opens up the about your system. And this is Netrunner OS version, Netrunner 25. It gives you all the basic info. It is using Plasma 5, so it's not using the latest Plasma, but a lot of people do like Plasma 5, so that's pretty cool. And you can see right here, the version of Debian it is using is 12.5 Bookworm. All right, if there's other info you need to see there, let me just make it bigger. If you want to pause the page, there you go. All right, and that is my computer. So it should say about, but because typically my computer, is associated with a file manager. But then again, we are on Linux, we're not on Windows, so we should think outside of the box. All right, and this is our file manager, and it is Dolphin, and it is a standard desktop layout. You can see right here, you got your desktop, documents, downloads, music, network, pictures, public, and videos. So you got your standard file system going on here, and it is all running under the Dolphin. Of course, if you want to see the hidden files, Control H. Want to hide them again? Control H. I don't know why Dolphin doesn't put it inside of their right-click menu like most other file managers, but it's no biggie. Control H will get you through that. All right, and that was your file manager. Next to that, we do have Firefox, your web browser, and I believe they're on the 140s, 130s, 140s. But this one is using the ESR version, where of course it's on Debian. So you gotta remember that Debian always uses the ESR version. They like to hold their software back to whatever's working and whatever's stable. So no fault to Netrunner. This is the way Debian runs. That's how they like their system. All right, let me go back to this application menu. Let's see. Let's open up Discover. Discover is going to be their software manager. But then let's also open this back up right here. From checking on it earlier, it is it's pretty filled with basically everything you need to get started. You got your image viewers, your image editors, you got everything you need for internet. As far as starting off, you know what I mean? You got your web browser, you got a Tor client, you got your email clients, multimedia, you got VLC, you got Kdenlive, you got pretty much Audacious, you got everything, you got Office. Yeah, you got everything you pretty much need to get started. So let me go back to this right here. This is Discover. This is your software manager. So if there's something you want to install from here, let's see if we can do a search. And let's say I always search for HTOP and NeoFetch. These are just things that I like to play around with when I'm doing these first looks. So I don't see HTOP, but I do see NVTOP. So let's just install NVTOP, give it our strong and complicated password. All right, and while it's installing that, actually, let's look for NeoFetch. It's probably going to have fast fetch or some other type of fetch, because as the world knows, NeoFetch is no longer maintained. So a lot of people think it's broken, but it's not. It absolutely works. But since we don't find it on here, let's try to find a web browser, which should be under Systems. Let's open up Console and let's do a sudo apt install NeoFetch. All right, and it is in the app repository, so it's no problem installing in there. You'll find it on app, RPM, Arch and Pac-Man. You can find it everywhere. So let me go ahead and clear the screen. And what was it I installed? NV Top. Let me just make the terminal full screen. And what was it? NV Top. Okay, no GPU to monitor. Okay. Well, you know what? Since I got this open, let's install HTOP properly. Since they like to put their funny things and their funny things don't work, we'll just install it manually using the app. Now I'll clear the screen again. And now I'll do HTOP. All right, see, keep it simple and stupid. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple and stupid. So we are using 1.3 gigs because we are using the Plasma desktop environment. And with all these clear screens and things like that, it is going to suck up, a little bit of the memory, but not much. And you can see our load averages are very low. So it's not hurting anything. It's just using a little bit of memory, but you'll be fine. All right, and then it's HTOP. This is why I install these programs. I like to do simple things like this just to look and see what's going on. All right, and this is NeoFetch. You can see NeoFetch right here. It gives you the OS, Netrunner 25. Gives you the kernel info. And then if you want to go ahead and read through all this, you can go ahead and pause the video and you can take a look and see everything on there. This is basically pertaining to my virtual machine. Of course, your virtual machine or your bare metal device would show different items. But this is basically just showing what's on my bare metal. And then the rest is just the theming and things like that. All right, so we looked at NeoFetch, we looked at HTOP, and we looked at console. We can go ahead and close that. And let's see, NBTop, we didn't like that. What's another good program to install that we can test out? Let's go with Pluma. Pluma's a simple text editor, should be quick to install. It's only a few kilobytes. So, all right, and it should be installed. Let me click on it just to find out. Well, I wanted to see where it was coming from. I'm guessing that it was coming from not app because it's not finding applications from app. So it may be coming from some type of other store. But anyways, we can look at the about. And it is Discover 5.27.5. And we do have 9 packages that are ready for update, but we don't want to do that during this quick first look. So I did install Pluma, and Pluma is going to be should be under any accessories or something like that. But we could just go to the P's, and there it is, Pluma. Just simple text editor. Type whatever you want to type. If you want to use it to write code, you can do that too. It's a text editor, nothing fancy. All right, we'll close that without saving. All right, so pretty much out the box, you get everything you need as far as multimedia, internet, things like that, your office suite. It is using KDE desktop, so, the world's at your fingertips with this desktop environment. But let's do something simple like changing the wallpaper. So if you want to change the wallpaper, let me make this bigger. It looks like it only has these 2 wallpapers. So I'll go ahead and make it actually smaller again. So you can see that one and you can see that one. All right. To set it, just click on apply. Now, if you wanted to change your themes, you would go back into the system settings. And from right here, you want to look at appearance. And right here, appearance is like, there you go. Now you got all the other options that come with appearance. So right now it's on the Netrunner desktop. But if you want to change it, let's say, for example, you want to set it to Breeze, click on apply, and then we'll change it to the Breeze desktop. I want to go back to Netrunner, do that, set it back to Netrunner. Whatever you want to do, you want to change the way the controls look. You want to change the plasma style, colors, pretty much everything right here. You can change it all. All right, well, it's not a bad system. Everything looks pretty good on here. Everything's working as it should. I don't see any problems. See, what's this right here? Is this our update manager? I believe it is. And yeah, it is. It opens up the update manager. I was just curious because it had a little red dot. So usually that's indicating that it wants your attention. and we saw it. All right. So, like I said, this is just a first look at Netrunner 25 Shockworm. Just want to look at the basics, do a quick first look, and from what I see, everything looks pretty good on here. It is based on Debian, so you know you are going to get everything's pretty much going to work on here that you install using the apt installer. If you do go ahead and install something, you know, that's out of the app family, and you know, more than likely it's going to work. But the reason why Debian keeps everything so locked down is because they ensure that everything you install through app is going to work, no problems. And that's it's a criticism, and it's a lovable fact from Debian. Some people love it, some people hate it. They hate it because you can't get the latest and greatest, and some people love it because it's stable and it's going to work. You know what I mean? So it's the yin yang, the love and the hate on the system. All right, well, like I said, this is just the first look. Everything on here is working good. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this first look. All right, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you liked the video you just saw, please give it a like. If you didn't like the video you just saw, you can give it a thumbs down. All right, it's all fair game here on Linux Hub. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for this video, and I'm out.